Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us to learn more about the SANE Regional Team Lead program that we have been piloting at SATF. My name is Nicole Broder, pronouns she, her, or they, them, and I've been the SANE coordinator for the Oregon Sexual Assault Task Force for the past 5.5 years. Part of my focus during that time has been on expanding SANE training and support in the many rural areas of our state, and it was through this push that I came up with the SANE Regional Team Lead program about 3 years ago. I realized that SANE programs who were rural, small, or both needed trainings with more frequency, individualization, and focus than I could coordinate on my own. As much as I have loved getting to know communities around Oregon that I may never have connected with otherwise, it also has highlighted to me that my own experience as an urban-based SANE in the Portland and Vancouver metro area comes with limitations that keep me from responding to requests as effectively as I have wanted to. So I set about building capacity and, even more than that, local expertise to meet these needs better. So thanks to a training grant through VOCA, we've been able to pilot this program in 2 regions over the past 3 years, the North Coast and Eastern Oregon. The COVID pandemic definitely ended up being a hitch in our plans, but I've been really grateful to our 2 team leads who stepped up to the challenge, and you'll get introduced to them in a moment. So the general idea of the SANE regional team leads is that they can provide local trainings and non-urgent technical assistance and help build community between SANEs and SANE programs in their communities who may be feeling isolated. Also to help support partnerships and facilitate conversations between SANEs and other sexual assault response partners in their regions. For urgent technical assistance, still reach out to the state SANE technical assistance phone line, which is 503-990-5556. That line is available 24/7, 365, and if we don't pick up immediately, leave us a message and we'll call you right back. And of course, you are always welcome, just in general, to reach out to us at the state level. However, if you need non-urgent technical assistance, maybe you need to troubleshoot a process in your community or brainstorm a challenge or need some help facilitating a conversation, or if you're just feeling isolated in your practice and want to connect with folks in your community or surrounding communities, maybe consider reaching out to your SANE team lead. They can leverage their understanding of the nuances and relationships in your area and will often be able to respond to trainings or other requests more quickly than we can at the state level. The pilot program is coming to an end with this grant cycle, but we're currently pursuing funding opportunities to continue and hopefully expand the program. So follow the SATF newsletter to get updates this fall on what exactly that will look like. Barring another global pandemic, knock on wood, we expect more trainings, more conversations, more opportunities for connection, and more local level feedback and response. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. Please never hesitate to reach out to us here at SATF. The big takeaway is that we want the SANE regional team lead program to support your relationship with us, not supplant it. And to that end, let's let our current SANE regional team leads, Deidre Pierce and Pam Lindgren, introduce themselves.
Hi, everybody. My name's Deidre Pierce. I'm a registered nurse working at Samaritan North Lincoln Hospital in Lincoln City, Oregon, in the county of Lincoln. I have just celebrated my 44th year of having taken and passed my state boards. And for all of you newer nurses, they would call that an NCLEX. Mine happened to be 2 days with a number 2 pencil on paper. So I have been doing this for a while. My background is in labor and delivery and surgical services. My current position is in the intensive care unit at Samaritan North Lincoln, but I also work the emergency department, med-surg, and ER, as well as receiving training as a SANE nurse. And so I have my certification as an Oregon SANE nurse since 2016. And there was no nursing shortage when I finished school in 1977. In the hospital in which I was working as a CNA, there were 2 spots open, 2 registered nurse spots. One was in the NICU and one was in the labor delivery. And so I thought, oh, I'll stay for a year in labor and delivery. And I stayed for 16. Looking at the position that I'm assisting with now as the technical assistance, I want to do more with that knowledge, be available. So the reason that I became a SANE nurse was we had one SANE nurse at Samaritan North Lincoln and one SANE nurse down at Pacific Communities Hospital. So they're both Samaritan hospitals in Lincoln County. And both of those people were getting burned out. So they put out the call, would you be interested? And I said, yes, I would. And so they underwrote the cost of participating. And I finished my coursework, the required 40-hour didactic and all of the activities within the year, and then became certified and have been working regularly with assault survivors for the last 5 years, 4 years as a SANE and 1 as in training. And I feel like then I can give back and be more beneficial to my community and now further out. So what I would like to do as a technical assistance advisor is to be available to help with getting mock exams done so that we can stay current, because that is a difficulty in our rural communities that I experience here. And so I have a phone number that I would be happy to give to you so that you can reach out to me and we could work together. It is area code 503-269-4176. That phone I keep with me 24/7, and I refer to it as my bat phone. But I'm available for that and any technical assistance questions you have that are not urgent questions, that I can do some research for you and then get back to you with the information that I find out, because we have someone that's available 24/7 for those urgent calls. But my job is to help you get more information when you need it.
Hi, I'm Pam Lindgren, and I am the Eastern Oregon SANE coordinator. Currently, I work for the Burns Paiute tribe as a tribal nurse in SANE. I have been a nurse almost 30 years. The majority of my experience has been in critical care and the post-anesthesia care unit, and more recently SANE. I started with the tribe in 2015 and have been offering SANE services through their program with the federal government. I have had some experience working also with other SANE agencies such as RSI, where we travel and do SANE exams in outlying counties. So the area I'm in charge of or assigned to is Region 5, which is huge. It's practically the half of Oregon, and it covers 8 counties, and I'm going to read them to you because I can't remember them all because there's so many. Morrow County, Umatilla, Union, Wallowa, Baker, Grant, Harney, and Malheur. These counties take up the vast portion of Oregon, but they are the least populated areas of Oregon too. So that is our biggest challenge, is trying to get connected with our counties. Most of these counties have critical access hospitals, which do not offer but the bare minimum of get you stabilized and get you out. So when we have SANEs presenting to the ERs, they're usually required to ride long distances to neighboring big cities that have SANE services. Another issue that I seem to confront a lot is we have state, tribal, and federal jurisdictions that we have to navigate through. So we may be called over, like I work for the tribe, but if we have a sexual assault that happens in the city, it's then county, or then it's state. So there's a lot of jurisdictional minutia to get through, and your poor client is stuck in the middle of it. So it's really having the ability to navigate these areas. And I believe that is the biggest challenge and the the most important piece that we need to get out here in Eastern Oregon is having a system set up where our counties can talk to one another and work with one another and coordinate together, keeping it victim survivor centered, because they tend to get lost in the process. And what happens is the majority of the cases that we have come decide it's too much trouble and don't report. And that to me is just a tragedy. So that was my driving motivation for reaching out to the various areas and offering a way for SANE nurses to get their mock exams done, to offer them a path to get certified so they stay up to date on the latest forensic nursing techniques, up to date on the latest laws and jurisdictions that we need to follow. So we've started by having some classes in far Eastern Oregon and Ontario. Next month, I'll be going up to the Hermiston Pendleton area, covering Yellowhawk, all of those areas, hopefully getting some nurses there involved in some mock trainings, and encouraging anybody on the sexual assault teams in these areas to come to these trainings. So it gives us a chance to look at one another, meet one another, and say, oh, okay, now I recognize the voice that I hear on the end of the phone. I can put a face with it. And I just think just continuing to build on that is going to make this whole process so much easier, and just really create a good foundation for us to continue to build towards establishing a good SART program out here in the eastern part of Oregon. I think, if we can keep this going, we can keep this going and not necessarily recreate the wheel, but look at our neighboring counties. What are they doing? What's working? What's not working? I think even just rather than just limiting it to Region 5, come together, all of our regions, and say, what works for you? What doesn't work for you? Where can we improve? I think that needs to be the ultimate goal, because rather than recreating the wheel, let's use what's already working, and the stuff that we can create, let's spend our time and energy on that, because every place is a little bit different and every place is a little unique.